Good evening and welcome to the Tattered Goddess. I am Sissy. I am the Volva of the Circle of the Lunar Hearth Cauldron, and thank you for joining me this evening. As you can tell, this is previously recording because it is full moon and I have important work to be doing. You should too. But let's gather tonight and have a conversation. Let's have a conversation about magic, potential, awareness of who you are, and awareness of where you've been. A lot of people seem to think that the witch walk is easy and it doesn't take effort and it doesn't take focus and it doesn't take alignment. But I am here to tell you that is not the case. That is not the case on so many levels. Magical working is, if anything, a decision. You have to choose where you're coming in, where you've been, and where you're going. Tattered goddesses. What are tattered goddesses? Why, we all are tattered goddesses. We step amongst every day, walking through our regular lives, seeking answers that we're not quite sure of, and we're not 100% in tune with. If you think about the universe, it's singing one consistent song, but we all don't know the lyrics and we all don't know the harmonies. So, in our own ways, we're clinging on, hoping for the best, and shooting for the worst most of the times. We are running in circles. We are holding ourselves to a standard that is unattainable. And we are working at a rate that is burning through our mortal coil. If you are like me, you have spent a good deal of your magical life hoping for better, seeking more, reaching further, grasping harder to no avail. Are you having problems making your work stick? Are you having problems seeing results? You're not alone. It's very common in the witch world to have these issues. But the difference is, how do you deal with them? A lot of us look at life as if things will change, things will get better. I just need to put a little more faith here, a little more content here, a little more consistency here, and it never really happens. When I think of a tattered goddess, I think of Meg from Hercules. She has a history. She has a lot of things that she's not so proud of. She speaks at a level that some people don't understand her. She holds values that some people don't recognize or acknowledge. And in that case, she's different. She's way different. She's way different because we know she has potential. We know she has meaning, and we know at the end of the day, she's going to win. A lot of you have lost faith in yourselves. You don't think you're going to win. You don't know how you're going to win. Frankly, you don't know if you're even able to win anymore. And that is a lonely feeling. The wheel is turning, and this class was originally supposed to be taught in August, and life just didn't allow for it to happen. And it was put to the 10/10 date here in the cauldron. Why? Not by accident, because that's when I was hoping I would be ready to grasp this subject. And I think now I'm more ready than I've ever been. The wheel turns, and the wheel turns at its own pace. You can hold on, or you can fall to the wayside. A lot of you are refusing to accept consequences for choices that you've made. A lot of you are refusing to accept responsibility in areas you're being called to stand. A lot of you are just so beaten by life that it's one more thing you can't do. That sucks. That sucks. And you can give excuse after excuse and tone after tone and change after change, and it can mean nothing. When are you going to make decisions that work for you? Witchcraft is not just a belief, it is not just a practice, it is an action, it is a choice, it is a work every day to be better than the person you were yesterday. That is the only person you need to be better than. Some of you are sitting here going, you don't know what I've done. You don't know who I am. You don't know where I've been. You don't know what I've been through. I can honestly say, I probably have a very good fucking idea where you've been. I have a really good fucking idea what you've been through. And I have an even better fucking idea about the amount of excuses that you hold as sacred to keep you from growing. The wall between you and change is the amount of excuses you've piled into a sandbag barrier. I don't have time. I can't do this. I'm in the closet. I can't practice. Okay. Are you done? I can't afford it. Can you afford not to? Can you really afford to let all the trauma, anger, and rage that you are holding keep you from growth? Because you cannot grow when you're buried in your own defeat. A tattered goddess is more than a mindset. She's more than an action. She is a plan. She is a movement. She is a starting point. So, how are you going to change? What are you going to do? If you've been in the LHC, the Lunar Hearth Cauldron, for a considerable amount of time, you know about all the resources that are here: the Parchment Witch, the PDF Vault, the New Broom Tab, all the free classes that are amassed that you can access. But the place you're going to want to start is shadow work. I can't do shadow work. It's too hard. It's not too hard. You can start by one prompt. What is the biggest emotion I carry forward that is eating me alive? Anger, fear, shame, hate. They're all emotions and they're all choices. We make choices that block our growth. We create relationships that support our faults. When we are not ready to change, we will wrap ourselves in a security blanket of excuses to avoid it. Why are we doing this class now? This is the last full moon before Samhain. Yeah. Samhain's Witch's New Year. It is your chance to start again. The veil is open. Your ancestors, all those on the other side, are there to listen, and they're there to guide you. But if you're not going to do your personal work, and you're not going to step into the arena of your own life, and you're not going to have any type of valor and pride, authenticity, or character, what are you doing? Our world is filled with excuses, conceptions, misconceptions, attitudes, and limitations that you have had no point in creating. None. You've had no point in making these societal decisions, yet you sit as a victim of them. It's going to get better tomorrow. It'll get better. I'll just get this box of cards. I'll just get this book. I'll just take this workshop. It's not a one-point attack plan. This is an all-encompassing life change. So many of you, including myself, have been sitting in the circumstances of our own actions so long, we have forgotten we made choices. You have forgotten that you've allowed these things to impact your life. You have become the victim of yourself. How terrifying is that? Let that sink in. You have become the victim of yourself. Okay, so now you know you're a tattered goddess. We know that's what we are. What are we going to do? You're going to make a choice. Is this where you want to stand? Is this life you're living the life you want to live? Is this moment right now, if it all ended, you would be proud for it to be sung to generations to come? History remembers names. History remembers great stories. History forgets those who blended in. Are you living for legacy? Are you living to create a better place for your children's children? Hard pill to swallow. Do you feel you're worth redemption? Because I think some of you don't even feel you're worth redemption. I'm here to tell you today, you're worth redemption. You're worth all the work. You're worth all the songs of the heroes that will be sung for tomorrow. You're worth the books. You're worth the card sets. You're worth the candles. You're worth the crystals. You're worth the fires. You're worth the embers. You're worth the phoenix feathers bursting to flame. You are worth it. And you need to remember you are worth it. This struggle will not be easy, to say the least. This struggle will not be limited, but this struggle will show you just how strong you are. So I know you've been bouncing around the witch community and you've been hearing this word shadow work. Let me tell you what shadow work is. Are you ready? Come real close. I'm going to tell you the secret. Are you ready? Shadow work is looking inside your heart, your soul, and your experiences to find the limits that you once accepted as truths. Limiting thought can change your entire life. What is the difference between a cancer patient that makes it and a cancer patient that doesn't make it diagnosed at the same stage? Oh, sissy, it's medicine and it's resources. It's not. It's self-defining belief. It's the strength to push forward. It's the string of the fates that was cut at their birth. It's the character of who they are. Great leaders have accepted great loss as part of their lives. You cannot achieve great things if you are not willing to pass up mediocre opportunities. Some of you grab to the first brass ring you see instead of holding true to the goal you want. How do you accomplish great things? You have great confidence in yourself and you have great dreams. And you have an air about you of undying dedication. Some of you are not dedicated to yourselves. You're not dedicated to the cause. You're not dedicated to the journaling. You're not dedicated to the classes. You're not dedicated to anything but the immediate gratification you get in the moment. That is not going to be enough. You will continue to be a tattered goddess. You will continue to be the damsel in distress. You will never change into the hero of your story because you're not strong enough. Shadow work makes you stronger. Seeing your fear, acknowledging your fear, analyzing why you're afraid, and finding a better plan will make you the hero of your journey, young damsel. Whether you are 20, 30, 40, 50, or 60, you are not too old for shadow work. You are not too old to start again. You are not too old to try another way. If you are going to continue to be a tattered goddess your whole life, please be looking for someone to save you. Because damsels never save themselves unless they change their mindset. If you are constantly looking for someone to hold you up and take care of you, you are not going to win. Because eventually the hero will choose himself, and then you will call them a villain. Tough words, right? When someone doesn't give you what you want, someone doesn't tell you what you want to hear, someone doesn't present it the way you want it presented, they are now the villain, they are the bad guy, they are the enemy. Tattered goddesses always have a nemesis. Someone who was once their savior becomes their enemy because they don't help them. Guess what? You can go from a tattered goddess to a nemesis in no turn flat. They're called boundaries. When you start saving yourself and you start acting to save yourself, you're then your own hero. You will never save everyone. Put the gas mask on yourself before you put it on someone else. So, how are you going to step out of this pattern? Number one, you're going to own your shit. I want you to write a clear statement of who you are, what you believe in, and the traumas you think are keeping you from accomplishing what you want. That's going to take you a long time, probably a week. After you do that, I want you to go back through that writing and I want you to circle all the things that keep you from being where you want. And I want you to write a list. And when you write that list, I want you to define the overall topic of that situation. So you don't get the job opportunities you want. You weren't given the same financial resources as other people. You're not in a life situation where you can make that decision. I think the overall flow there is you accept limits other people give you. Make your own rules, make your own circumstances. If the job you're in isn't paying the bills and it isn't doing what you want, why are you still at that fucking job? If the marriage or relationship you have is stunting you, why are you allowing that marriage to sit in that same stagnant position? Why are you not wanting more for yourself? It's a great thing to look at when you come up with that topic sentence. What is keeping you from thinking you're worthy to ask for more? Because a lot of you have a worthiness issue. I'm just not worthy of it. That's not my value. Step 3, going into Samhain, I want you to write what you want a stronger hero, goddess image of yourself to look like and roll with that. And finally, but not least, I want you to write yourself an apology for allowing life to beat you up the way it has. An apology isn't a I feel sorry for myself note. I am sorry I was not strong enough to see my worth. I see it now. I am sorry I allowed other people's circumstances to impact my choices. I won't do that again. I see it now. I will make choices that support the life I want. I see it now. Don't turn this into a pity party. No one wants to attend a fucking pity party. I do recall when they call those at a restaurant their pity party of one. Your table is ready because you can't have a pity party with other people because they're going to point out how you're not taking advantage of the opportunities life has for you. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop having your pity party. Bad things happen. The only person that can turn around bad things is you. And sometimes, this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, what I'm about to say. Bad things happen because you fucking allow them in. Ladies, not valuing yourself leads to being loved by bad partners. Not having the job you want is because you don't open your mouth and speak your worth. Not living the life you want is you're not making choices that support the life you want. Take some fucking personal responsibility for your life. Whether you like it or not, that's the way it rolls. I'm going to close this by telling you it's a full moon. It is October 10th, 2022, when I'm recording this. Some of you may see it another time. Might call for you at that time. But I want you to know tonight you can step out into that moon. You can look up at the sky and you can scream at the top of your lungs, I am no longer a victim. I am taking my control back. You are in control. You just have to pull the trigger. Stop making excuses. Stop accepting Tattered Goddess as your title and move forward into the goddess you are meant to be. There are lots of opportunities here at the LHC for you to maximize your magic. If you're confused, if you have questions, there's an email, thelunarhearthcauldron@gmail.com. Ask the Volva how she can help you. She will be happy to answer. Thank you for joining the Tattered Goddess tonight. I'm sorry if you were expecting to see me live, but the full moon calls for a massive amount of energy, and that's where I need to be. Have a wonderful evening. You're magic because you fucking say you are. Now go be seen and let the goddess know you're here. Thank you for coming.